Good evening, good morning, wherever you get your podcasts. We are the Clash and Conferences Network. This is the All Sports Rotating Members Pod. I'm filling in for Karan this week, here with some football OGs that hang out with us tonight before we head around and talk about a variety of topics for All Sports. Quick shout out to our sponsors. First, if you're in the Lancaster area and you need a haircut, stop by Sparrow Hair Studios and see Lean. Let her know that you are a member of the network and they'll get you situated with a discount, as well as Lotwin Custom Hype Chains. Use code TCCPOD for 10% off your first order. And shout out to This Day in Philly Sports, Jim Montgomery, who is obviously the less handsome Montgomery brother. But shout out to him for always being supportive of our pod. And we will get to a fantasy update later with a nice graphic from our internal competition as far as fantasy football goes. So, gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us tonight. We appreciate you doing a double pod, some of you. So good to have you here.
I feel like the fancy graphics for the fantasy are going to end once our producer takes his first loss. We'll see.
Hating.
Hey,
You gotta take me down to take me down, brother. You gotta take me down.
He said he wanted a good minute to talk some crap in fantasy. So here you go, Steve. Lead us off. What would you like to say about your fantasy team?
I'm number one. That's what I would like to say. I am number one. Okay. My drafting strategy got questioned during the draft by the host of the show, may I add, Patty, for picking 2 quarterbacks within the 8th round. Okay. And now look at me. On top, nowhere to go. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to coast this entire season.
Who are your quarterbacks?
Yeah, get ready for this.
Dak Prescott. It was Purdy and Dak, but I ended up dropping Purdy. And I've been starting Dak. But here's what I was telling Mike before we recorded. As soon as I had the opportunity to bench Dak for next week, I did. Because I'm scared to death that Parsons is going to murder him.
Busted up wide receivers?
I got who's the Nuka Puka guy? Got him. I got
There's the
AJ
show
Brown
title right there. 10 seconds into the show. That Nuka Puka guy,
dude. That is
and he's got Zay Flowers as well.
How in the world is he in first place?
Dude, Cook.
I felt like I drafted a really good team, and I'm 1-2 after a heartbreaker last week. So that's it.
My running back Cook from Buffalo. He's been
good luck. That's just 1 week he'll have all year.
No, he'll just get injured.
He's been doing it every week. He's been killing it.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers got to fix that soon. All right, just curious.
He's taking his first loss this week. He plays me. I'm also undefeated, so it's a heavyweight matchup. There's 3 teams left that are undefeated at 3-0, and me and Steven are gonna at least knock one of those 3 teams off that ledge this week.
Yeah, they say that the good thing about being at first is the only place you have to go is down. Just ask my New York Mets. So we know how that goes.
Hey, don't call it a comeback.
I'm not talking about them yet, but talking to Randy and Paul pre-show, both stated that they would like to start off with some college football today because they don't get the chance to talk about it on the NFC East pod because Topher doesn't believe in talking about anyone under the age of 22. So why doesn't anyone lead us off?
Go ahead, Paul.
I was excited actually for Carolina playing this weekend. I saw a meme that the game between them and Clemson, which is down in Carolina, was going to be on the Cartoon Network at 10 a.m., where it kind of belongs because of how much of a joke both the teams are right now. However, I had, the whole season is sold out. So, I mean, the tickets are ungodly. So I wouldn't do this anyways. But if I were going to visit for a weekend, this may be the weekend. So the game is a noon game. 10 o'clock right before it is a Ludacris concert. And then right after it is the Carolina basketball, their blue-white scrimmage game for free afterwards. So you've got some pretty mediocre things all together. I would
Ludacris is not mediocre.
I agree, Randy.
No,
I'm surprised Paul's saying
top tier.
Paul also does not think Ludacris is mediocre.
Some people would say that he is in fact pimping all over the world. Some
So
people
I
would
would
say.
have to
as
say
of
we
right
all
now-
can agree Paul's wrong.
Important
Yes.
cast of the
In
Fast and Furious.
1999, Ludacris was hot. As of right now, on the 17th Fast and the Furious episode or whatever, Ludacris he just kind of, he's like Russell Wilson. He kind of just needs to ride off into the sunset and not be
So
really heard from.
you're telling me Ludacris comes to your town and does a show before a college football game. You're not going and like knocking over 10 kids to get a Ludacris bobblehead doll?
Oh, I would do everything to go to that, but I'm just saying in general, Ludacris right now is not really, somebody's like Ludacris, and the first thing they do is laugh or smile. Instead of being like, awesome, they laugh and they smile because it's not 1999. Do I think
All I
it's
can
awesome?
think of. Oh my
was
bad, Paul. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
No, I mean, it's just like the game. Like the game is kind of a parody. Having that is kind of a parody. And then the team I have not too high hopes for this year in hoops playing against each other. Like, I mean, all of those together would make a fantastic day. But I mean, I don't know what's going to happen at either of the three. But I think those three together would be like a trip to Disney World. A day at Disney World is what I think that's going to be. That's going to be.
I have a bold
three roller
prediction.
coasters.
I have a
Three
bold
roller
prediction.
coasters.
At least one of the venues, Ludacris is going to tear the freaking whole stadium up. That's my only prediction.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I'm
it's like my wife and I, we try to go to an away game every year. We went to Atlanta a couple years ago, and they're like at halftime it's '90s night, and they brought out I'm blanking on who it was. It's not Quad City DJs, but whoever sings "Whoop," there it is. They brought him out.
Tag
Yes.
team.
Tag team.
Yes.
And they brought him out at halftime, and I'm like, oh my god, tag teams here.
That's awesome.
That's what I would be. Like the first thing you did was you smiled and laughed.
Yeah.
It's not a diss on Ludacris, but it's not 1999, and we're literally on the 12th Fast and Furious movie. So
I
but
like
would
it.
I love to go? Absolutely, it would be amazing.
Randy, what did you want to talk about college football wise?
So, again, big Penn State fan here, going to the Penn State game this weekend.
Has nothing to do with Sandusky, right?
No, they didn't move to Du Bois. Listen,
Idle.
all I'm saying is, we're playing Oregon this week. It's a whiteout game. Really looking forward to it. You know, I don't know. I guess I was kind of curious in you guys' takes a little bit. Like Penn State for the past 3 or 4 years now has done really good until the end, and they start playing these tougher teams, Oregon, Ohio. Kind of excited about us playing Oregon early, you know, a tougher team. And I guess, you know, I don't know. Penn State's ranked number 2 right now. It's hard for me to see them as number 2 because of the past 3 or 4 years. But like, what do you guys think? We're playing Oregon, who I believe is number 6 right now. Don't quote me on that, but they're a good team. Do you like, from an outsider? I guess my question to you is, from an outsider, maybe you guys are Penn State fans. I don't know. But do you think that Penn State has what it takes to beat them? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I think that Penn State can definitely beat them. I think Dante Moore, who is Oregon's quarterback, is very good. I think he's going to get some national spotlight sooner rather than later. The thing that I'll say is that I don't want to, like, James Franklin in big games, we obviously know the stigma that's behind that. And, you know, being early in the year, it could be different. But to me, you can mask that in a night game in Happy Valley. So I'm not saying that they're going to win, but it's better than them being on the road in Oregon this early, where they're going to be at home. They're going to be behind the whiteout crowd. They're going to be, you know, in their own stadium, and their defense is good enough to play with them, as long as you don't get a stinker out of Drew Aller, which he has been much better since. Like, if you asked me 2 years ago, I would have laughed in your face if you told me Drew Aller was a NFL caliber quarterback. And now I think that he is going to be a decent prospect, at least. So, you know, at least that's where I stand on it. Mike or Randy, any thoughts? Or Mike or Paul, any thoughts?
I just we had a new neighbor move in about 6 months ago, and he's younger, and he graduated from Penn State. He said it's going to be a whiteout this Saturday night, and I believe it's also supposed to be homecoming, or there's supposed to be something where it's something else bigger on campus, so it's more of a thing. And I was just, you know, against what I'm supposed to do on these things. I was looking at my phone for a minute to look up
I knew what you were doing.
the schedule, and they do play at Ohio State this year. So I mean, it may not be the biggest game that you have or the most important one,
Mhm.
but you also play like Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers, and Northwestern, as well as UCLA.
Yeah, I feel like
So
these are the only two games.
you need to win this game
Mhm.
because I don't think the other ones are going to help you. You definitely
No.
can't lose any of those, but they're not going to help you as much. It's like Notre Dame's schedule this year for you.
Especially if the other side of the Big Ten includes in Indiana with what they looked like. And I was all
Mhm.
over Illinois Saturday night.
Yeah,
But if the other side
yeah.
of the Big Ten is going to include Indiana, Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State, obviously, those are 4 playoff contending teams. Now you have a 1-loss Illinois, who I don't think is as bad as they looked in Indiana the other night. Like, if you are Penn State, you have to beat Oregon, because if you don't, then you're relying on a big win in Columbus in whatever November to get
Sure,
in,
sure. Which is a
and you don't
game
want
we
to have to
always
trust.
lose. We always lose that game. November in
I don't mean
Ohio.
to I don't mean to interrupt, Mike. Did your second baseman just throw the ball on a double play attempt straight into the dugout?
No, I'm gonna have to watch a replay because I'm not.
It was like 13 feet off the bag.
He was moving away from the bag. It's hard to throw when you're trying to move full speed in another direction.
I just saw it.
I mean, it looked like Shaq if he was shooting a free throw with his eyes closed. Like, dude, you weren't even in them. Like,
Listen,
oh
Paul,
my God.
all you need to know about this game
Look,
is they
man.
brought in Huascar Brazaban in the second inning. In a must-win game, they brought in Huascar Brazaban.
I've said it before live on one of these shows. I've seen you airball a layup in intramural basketball on a breakaway, so I don't want to hear your criticism of our second baseman.
Okay, well, how about if he just did it again to give
Maybe
up
I
a
saw
run?
the second one. Maybe that's the one that I saw was the second one.
How about he just did it again to give up a run?
Listen, I don't think that anything will ever compare to the Mets in 07 when they were up, 8.5 with 15 to go against the Phillies. Like, nothing will compare to that, but this is about as close as you can get to it, because it's just been like, literally, it's like the scene in Monty Python where the Black Knight gets like cut every 2 minutes, but he like doesn't acknowledge it. So like in July they start losing games. He's like, "It's just a flesh wound. We're gonna come back."
And
then
the arms
like,
start falling off arms.
eventually
He's hopping around on one leg.
just a torso. That's what it feels like being the Mets over the last 3 months.
Come over here, I'll bite your head off.
Yeah.
I know Lewis doesn't really have anything good to say about him.
No, he doesn't.
Try living in New York. It's even worse than being around Phillies because the Yankee fans hate you as much as the Philly fans
Listen,
do.
Lewis, I am cheering for any team that plays Philadelphia all year long, especially the playoffs. Any team.
Lewis, I'll even up that and say that if you listen to the members pod, which I know you won't, no one here is allowed to tell him, that if you listen to this, I'll Venmo you $5.
You're getting that message. You're getting that request.
So I hope so. Mike, I don't know if you got the chance to on the NFC East pod. Anything to say about the Bears from this past weekend that you'd like to continue to talk about?
And we definitely talk
no,
about
he doesn't have
Randy and
anything.
I
Yeah, let's move
got
on.
into it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll just move right on to the
Steve
internal
didn't really get
competition.
to comment about the ass
Steve needs his
whooping
cowboy
yet.
moment. Steve, yeah, you need your cowboy moment.
Yeah, we suck. I asked Randy off recording earlier, how many wins he thought we were going to get this season. I believe he said 6 to 8, which is right where I think we're going to probably be, unfortunately. It's hard to watch. It really is. I'm not going to bail on them now. I know they've been apparently America's team forever and haven't, earned it, deserved it. But
baseball is still the pastime for America as well. But
But it's still my team. I still got to ride with them. I'm not going to leave them. But it does hurt to not be good yet. I'll tell you that much.
Did everyone here watch the Netflix doc or no?
I did not yet.
I got through the Dion episode. And then we got rid of Netflix. I didn't get to finish it.
Say the first 2 episodes make you really like Jerry. And you're like, wow, I totally understand where this is coming from. And then the final 6 episodes are like, you are the dumbest, most crap for brains idiot I have ever seen in my entire life. And the fact that, like, when you get to the episode about, like, basically him and Jimmy splitting up, like, literally it was just a pissing contest, is what it seems like. Is that Jimmy Johnson wanted the credit for Herschel Walker, and Jerry Jones was like, "Oh well, I tell you what, I'm not giving you credit for anything around here," and then he fired him. Like,
well, I mean, it's the same pissing match he just went through during the summer too. That was all for nothing. That was all for pride.
yeah, I mean,
You talking about the Parsons thing?
the hard thing about that for me is I agree with you, Paul, but at the same time, like, it seemed like he was going to get the deal done because that's what he's done over the last 5 or 6 years. He did it with Dak, he did it with CeeDee Lamb, he did it with Ezekiel Elliott before he signed his big contract. And whether those are good contracts or not, obviously you have to have those discussions on your own. But this is different to me because I never in a million years would have thought that the deal would have not gotten done and that he'd be obviously now a Packer and everything like that. That's just, it wasn't even anything that crossed my mind at the time, if I'm being honest.
So me neither, obviously, and I'm going to speak for Randy without asking him. Like, we obviously would want Parsons to still be on our team, but I'm with Randy. I don't really think it was that bad of a decision.
No. From a team standpoint,
there's a lot of things I agreed with.
Yeah, unfortunately, from a team standpoint, you can't pay three players half your salary cap.
We need a lot of pieces.
I would have loved to have seen Dak walk and us keep Parsons, but I actually think one of the stupidest things in the world. I love Micah Parsons.
Hey, you could have gotten Jackson Dart for the next 12 years.
Shoot, I could have got Saquon Barkley 4 times over. I mean, shoot, there's so much coulda, woulda, shoulda. But you don't pay a defensive player that kind of money. I'm sorry.
Randy,
you don't play an offensive player that kind of money.
How much money is available right now?
So this year, the Cowboys have the third highest amount available in the salary cap, $31 million. They're expecting Dallas to make some moves because they do have money they have to spend this year. Not true next year, but this year they have a good bit of money available.
Yeah, but is the money that you have available, is it going to your current players, or are you talking about new acquisitions?
No, it's they got $31 million available in the salary cap right now.
So they could trade or pick up another Jadeveon Clowney.
Sure.
Re-sign Pickens.
But this is where Jerry needs to do something to justify what we're saying wasn't all stupid. Like, something needs to happen now.
I don't know if he's going to get the chance to do that because he's used to doing these deals with the players, like one-on-one. Like, it's weird. Like, it's never all these deals are not between the person whose pocket it's literally coming from to the guy he's giving it to. But after the Parsons thing, he's not going to be able to do that. Like, first of all, the league doesn't want him to change his
ways. He needs to change his ways.
I don't disagree with you, but look at like the running back Williams. I mean, he's an acquisition we got. Again, Jerry needs to make some of those moves with this money he has available. And there are players out there. I mean, again, I know Clowney's got, but Myles Garrett, is he going to be a Brown all year? Who knows? There's other players too that are impact players that.
Yeah, but Randy, you really think that they would trade for Garrett after refusing to pay the same amount of money that they just paid Myles Garrett?
It depends. Well, it depends. Well, I don't know what Myles Garrett's money is right now.
Does it depend?
He got signed about 4 weeks before.
Yeah, he's still like $38 million a year.
Okay, well, then no, absolutely.
Ask him what he thinks about Daniel Jones.
I mean, we could trade for DJ. There is a Tolford never believed in it.
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could get Russell Wilson pretty quick, pretty cheap right now.
So, Randy, my only point would be this: is I think I agree. I think both your points can be correct without correlating with one another. I think that trading Parsons, at the end of it, the Cowboys roster does not get fixed by Micah Parsons, and I understand that.
No.
Spreading the money out and fixing everything that you can. And obviously those weaknesses are going to show up for the time being. However, I disagree on the point that a defensive player is worth it when they're a game breaker. When you have a Myles Garrett, when you have a TJ Watt, a Micah Parsons, like those guys.
Max Crosby,
those guys are game breakers that literally change the way offenses play against you.
Yeah, and I hear you, but again, I'm going to pick on the Eagles because they have the team. There's no player on that team that's out there breaking the bank. You look at what Tom Brady did with the Patriots for years and years. Tom Brady never demanded a top-paid position. You've got to build a team with a lot of solid positions, but if the superstars want paid, you jeopardize the entire team. And like, even CD Lamb, like I love the guy to death. Glad we got him. But we have so much money locked up in those two guys, Dak Prescott and CD Lamb, that it's hard to see next year how we can get great talent, outside of the draft. I don't know. I hear you what you're saying, Patty. I hear you, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth paying 40 million a year plus. I mean, this year Micah Parsons is making 63 for a non-quarterback position. I don't even know if I feel that way for a quarterback position, much less a non-quarterback position.
Yeah. I think that you bring up an interesting point about those Brady teams and the Eagles especially, but I think that what makes people's Super Bowl windows, we look at the Super Bowl winners. Oh, bye, Steve. We talk about Super Bowl windows for teams, and like at the end of the day, most teams that have a long Super Bowl window built those teams through the draft and then played ticky-tack and then played ticky-tack with contracts like Eagles, Chiefs that you can talk about. Like, really the only Super Bowl champion that I can think of over the last 15 years, or I wouldn't go that far, but 10 years that I can think of that wasn't really, like, built through the draft would be the Broncos with
That's
Peyton
who I was just going to say, Denver Broncos.
and the Bucks with Brady. And other than those two championship teams, literally everyone else along the way has been built in the draft with some free agent ads.
Well, because in the draft you get players that you could pay less for a rookie contract duration, right? So it is a great way to build. I don't know. In the end of it, again, I struggle with this idea that we're going to just keep paying players more and more and more because we don't want to lose them. Like, I hate the Steelers, Patty. I hate them. But in a way, I love the fact that they're pretty much like a no-nonsense team when it comes to contract negotiations. If you don't agree, you walk. And that there is some value to that, a lot of value to that, in my opinion. You always have a team that's solid. You don't have a team that's maybe the home run team every year, but you always have a team that's competitive. And that's my problem with the Cowboys, with Jerry Jones, with signing Micah Parsons, is the one thing I actually agree with is, sure, we got rid of Micah Parsons, but it's for the team. It's for the better of the team. Sure, it sucks. It crushes me as a person. I'm a Penn State fan. I love Micah Parsons. But for the team, I think it's the best move they could have made for the money he's asking.
It better be. We better see something come from
this.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting because at the end of the day, you obviously, I think that the difference is this, is that I think, take the Mets, for example. I know it's a different sport, but take the Mets, for example. Who does everyone bring up when you think of the Mets? You say, oh, the Bobby Bonilla contract, because you remember the bad free agent signings more than you remember the bad draft picks. Now, bad draft picks hurt you, like this kid Macy Smith that can't get on the field for the Cowboys right now.
Jackson Dart,
bad,
Mozzie.
Bad draft picks will haunt you, but once they're gone, they're gone. Whereas like the bad free agency contracts follow these GMs and they follow these owners. Like, how much, the Cowboys obviously had to reset when the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Jets were the teams that gave those, and the Vikings with Dalvin were the four teams that gave those huge contracts to running backs in 2018. And we haven't seen a contract like that since. Even with Saquon, like that was the whole thing last year, because when a bad contract is signed, or a quote unquote bad contract is signed, it's something that follows NFL teams and GMs, and they simply are afraid to make those moves.
Well,
I think this would probably be a good transition.
What do you think, Steve? Sorry. I will say, long story short, to round all this back, the Bears suck.
Well, they definitely do. They're the worst team in the NFL.
We suck so bad that we whooped y'all's ass.
Oh, it was just luck.
Come on, Mets.
Go ahead, Patty. You were saying.
No, I was going to say, I think this would be a good transition to flash up our top five on the screen, Steve. So show our internal competition for our fantasy league. Steve, would you like to read it? I don't have the top five in front of me.
Yeah, sure. I'd be more than happy to read the standings for our fantasy.
3 of the top 5 are present.
It would have been nice if I got an invite to the league.
Oh,
fellas.
Patty, Alonso just came a few feet away from getting us within one.
I saw it was a single, but it was a deep one, yeah.
Yeah, he hit it off the wall.
All right, so the standings are number 1, the bearded ones, managed by me and my wife. In second place is Quran, and third place is Mike, and fourth place is Paul, and in fifth place, anybody know who's in fifth place? Corey
Dickinson.
Yeah, he beat me this week he had the
Shout out
Vikings
to
defense
Corey.
had like 45 points against me.
Oh, did you hear the Vikings defense?
Not allowed on camera, but he's still allowed to vie for a championship in fantasy.
9:30 a.m. football this week, gentlemen. 9:30 a.m. football.
Yes, sir.
From Dublin.
Funny little story before we get into that. My cousin is having a birthday party for her daughter, and she goes, "Hey, just so you know, the party's at 11. I made it so it doesn't interfere, with football Sunday." And this was a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, there's no problem." And then I was sitting there the other day, and I was like, "Wait a second." And I was like, "The Steelers play at 9:30, and her fiance, whose daughter's birthday it is a huge Vikings fan. So she planned this birthday party right in the middle of this game."
Awesome.
I know the Braves are out. Mike, you want to give a little MLB playoff talk? Anything we want to talk about on that end?
Yeah, the Mets are about to be out, so I guess we're good.
Hey, listen, the last I checked, not the Braves. Last I checked, the Reds were losing as well. So, we need to make up a game on them because they win the tiebreaker, and I think we're tied right now. So we need to win one more game than the Reds, but at least it's looking like if we lose tonight, hopefully they're going to lose tonight as well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it's
all I can hope for right now.
It's just not, like I said a little bit earlier, I touched a little, it's just not been a fun 3 months rooting for the Mets the last 3 months. And
God, that April was like fire though.
June really is what at the end of June you were 21 games above 500.
Yeah.
21 games above 500. And I hate to say that I'm not surprised as a Met fan. That's going to sound cynical, but I'm very numb to the situation right now until the bang. Let's go. Sorry, 3-run home run. But
it's tied. It's tied. Brandon Nimmo, 3-run home run.
As you can tell, I'm very numb to the situation.
We ain't giving up, Patty.
Let's go.
Get Karan on here. Somebody call Karan.
I love when stuff
Mets
happens.
fans unite.
Last thing we kind of said that we were going to talk about before. I don't know if anyone has a pick or your thoughts, but about 45 minutes from my in-laws' house, we have the Ryder Cup kicking off at Bethpage Black, I believe, starting Thursday morning or tomorrow morning. I know it won't be when this airs, but Wednesday morning or Thursday morning. Paul, are you a golf guy? I can't really remember.
I do follow. I think that Bryson is a douche canoe, so I'm with the rest of the critics. He spends way too much time on Bryson and not as much on supporting the people that support him, in my view. I always thought him and Brooks Koepka were kind of the same kind of person. Both, I think, are absolute douches, for sure. So I saw that there was a lot of critics about him being on there. I mean, he got blasted by a couple of people, real bad. So I don't have any much for him. Every time he starts, it looks like in the last year or so, or a little bit more than that, he started to be more of a fans player, but it's all just a smoke show. It's a smoke screen. It's nothing. He's still a complete douche and self-centered.
You know what kind of sucks?
And I feel strongly about these comments.
Time around with the Ryder Cup for me, what sucks is that obviously I'm rooting for the USA. I bleed red, white, and blue, of course. But at the end of the day, what sucks is that the UK and European team is actually very likable. I like all the golfers on the other side of the card, which is you maybe 5 or 10 years ago you couldn't say that, but a lot of these golfers are fun to watch. I think it'll be a very good time. Randy or Mike, any thoughts on the golf? If you're into the golf at all? Randy's shaking his head no.
Randy's more one of those let's shoot some animals kind of guy.
I have fallen off golf the past 2 years. I used to play in a fantasy golf league that had a little bit of capital gains interest in it, and that kept me involved, from week to week and up on what was going on. But the past year and a half without that, I've kind of fallen off on it.
All good. So
I'll
what we'll
say
do.
Scotty Scheffler just so I can
Oh,
contribute.
I love Scotty. Yeah. What we'll do here, I think what usually we would do something to wrap up.
Stop interrupting, Steve.
We will wrap up with a lock of the week. Remember, we do not condone you spending any money, but we are a capital gains centric person or centric
I do.
pod. So I'll give mine first. I think that give me them against a rookie quarterback. Give me Chargers -5.5 as the lock of the week on my end. Randy, what are you thinking?
Thought it was 6.5.
Oh man, honestly, I got to look at all the different games before I would tell you. Go ahead, you two. Let me think about that. Paul.
Yeah, I wasn't
Steve or
prepared
Paul?
for this. I don't have locks of the
Come
week
on, just take a
generally
guess.
on
Have some fun.
Tuesday night, but I'll give you two actually, because we just got off the NFC East pod and there were two lines that I generally like there. I'm going to go with you on the Chargers. They are going to whoop. The Giants are bad, man. And they're putting a rookie quarterback out there who's not ready behind an awful offensive line. The Chargers are going to roll. And I think Green Bay is also going to roll. Sorry, Randy and Steve.
Paul,
I'm
All right.
anything?
At the
I got
Oh,
one
Randy.
for you. The under on the Philadelphia Tampa game. I think that the Eagles are a defensive team. I think that they can't score points. I think that Tampa Bay's missing Mike Evans is going to hurt their offense this week. Take the under on the Eagles Tampa game. I hate unders, by the way. I hate
Me too.
unders.
Paul, Steve, any contributions here?
Yeah, I saw the Saints are going up to Buffalo to play. Enough said. I don't
It's
care
like
what
13,
I don't care
like
what the
13
line
and a
is.
half or 15.5. Something.
I
Is it
saw
really?
16.5 this
Yeah,
morning, Patty.
it's
For
a big
16 and a half,
It's a
Paul,
big
I'll
number.
take that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that high. That's
You
that's
said,
like college
hold on.
football.
3 seconds ago,
He
you
goes,
said, I don't care what
the
that
number.
line is.
Oh, I think
Except
Pete
when I hear the
Alonso
real
just
number.
died.
Did he catch it at least when he died?
He's safe. I
No,
didn't
he dropped
see.
it
So
I
in
just
the
saw him die.
You sticking with your New Orleans Buffalo, Paul?
Well, I didn't know what the spread was. I was just assuming. I mean,
Okay.
16 and a half in an NFL game is.
I think they probably
I
covered
I don't
the big
know. I mean,
spread.
I just think it's going to be a massacre.
The problem with big spreads in the NFL, there's too many teams that when they're up by 3 touchdowns are more than happy to play prevent, let the other team dig and dunk down the field and get points. That much of a spread, if it's over 16, I'd almost take a lock against you, Paul.
Well, I mean, that's what happened in our game, in our game against the Raiders. I mean, we were up 34-10, and then let up like literally just were like
70
matadors and let
yarder
everybody
to
go
Trey
by. Yeah, like and I mean, we got I guess a garbage time touchdown also. But I mean, the game was already over when the fourth quarter started. So I mean, it was 34-10. It was a wrap. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's they don't care what happens, and they didn't.
Well,
No.
So
gentlemen, you heard it here first. You heard our locks. You heard our MLB takes. You heard our We Hate the Cowboys, except for the two members that don't hate the Cowboys takes.
Basically,
Actually, I don't hate
half
the
a
Cowboys
pod
either,
here.
so I can't say that I hate the Cowboys.
40%.
60%.
Patty.
As always, Steve, go. You have a thought.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I'm not going to pick against the spread or anything like that. But
go for it.
A few weeks back, you sent us a video of you and your buddies like going crazy over something that happened.
Yeah.
What happened in that video?
We were on a bachelor party for my friend Ryan. We all went up to Lake Placid, and we're kind of just having a big football day, consuming the drinks, gaining the capital. And I was like, before the game, I was like, hey, everybody ride this bet. And it was 4 anytime scores. It was James Cook, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, and Lamar. And the last leg was Josh Allen. But the play before that, if like you rewatch the game or you go watch the highlights on YouTube, they throw like a screen to James Cook, and there's nobody there. Like he's running for 65 yards. There's nobody there. And then the kid for Baltimore, Nate Wiggins, just comes out of nowhere and basically like WWE clotheslines James Cook at the 1 yard line. So we're all like, my God, like this is going to happen. So Josh was like the last leg at that point to hit. So like you'll see in the video, he like fakes it. We're like, no. And then he pulls it and everyone just starts freaking out because we all hit like, I think there was 20 of us and we all bet $20. It was like 20 to win 450 or 500 each. So like,
Nice.
so like combined in the room, we probably hit like close to like 6 or 7 grand, like cumulatively, which was a pretty fun time, obviously a fun ride.
Nice.
So, but yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Steve. That was a good memory after the past 2 weekends of not so good memories with capital gains. But that's football season for you. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. It has been fun being back. Hopefully we get you, again soon on the All Sports Rotating Members Pod. And shout out to our sponsors, Sparrow Hair Studio, Lotwin Hype Chain, This Day in Philly Sports, Jim Montgomery, and
What's up, Jimbo?
Steve. And the next time that Steve's interrupted me, I won't be coming back on the pod. So have a great night, everybody, and we will see you later. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen.
Shut up, Chris.
Boom, boom, boom.